This episode of Mayor Monday is a production of The Reporter, Delaware County's leading news source. The village of Walton was settled in 1785 near the West Branch of the Delaware River and is named after William Walton, Jr., the founder of the Chamber of Commerce. The village of Walton has always been home to thriving manufacturing, with former businesses like the Munn Piano Company, Breakstone, and S.J. Bailey's giving way to businesses like Empire Metalworks, Rolling V Bus Company, Lactalis, and many more. Walton honors its heritage and has several historic buildings, including its theater and library. Walton is also home to the long-celebrated Delaware County Fair.
I'm Alicia Corbo with The Reporter. I'm here with Mayor Ed Snow of Walton as a part of our Mayor Monday series. You will notice that both of us are not wearing a mask. That is because we are both fully vaccinated, but if you are not fully vaccinated, the CDC does recommend that you remain masked up. So to start us off, could you tell us a bit about your tenure as Mayor of Walton?
Sure. I started in 2005. My first term was for 6 years. I was reelected. That term, I lost for 2 years, came back again for another 6 years, lost again, and now I'm back for my third time. So I'll be starting my 14th year in the next couple of months.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
And why did you want to initially run for mayor?
Because I've been in public service most of my life. In the military when I was young, I went to Vietnam, came back. I was in the New York City Police Department for over 20 years. And then I moved up to Walton, and I got involved in a lot of activities in the community. And I decided to run for mayor so I could help people better by being the mayor and representing the village.
So there's been a lot of news coverage about the new businesses in Walton. What do you attribute that to?
Well, I think it's because myself and the board of trustees, we reach out to everybody. We're business friendly, and we always looking to help and get people to come in. And when one business comes in and they find out how well they were treated and respected by everybody in the community, the word passes just like something bad, something good passes just as fast. And more businesses have come in to see how it is, and they see that they're welcome and get responded well by me and the board, and they're here. And it's a good community. We have a lot to offer in this community. You know, we're in the Catskill Mountains, and we have 6 springs. We have great schools. We have a great hospital. We have a lot of things to offer, so businesses can really prosper when they come here. And we get a lot of people coming in from other communities going through Binghamton or Oneonta. So we have an average of 3,000 cars per day that pass our main street. So it's really enticing for businesses that want to come in and open up.
And so much of the village sits in a floodplain. What flood prevention projects have been undertaken in light of that?
Well, the first thing, if you recall, our last big incident we had was in 2006. We had a flood here, and it was pretty devastating. We had got together with the town and Soil and Water, which is located in the village, and we all came up with an idea of having a flood commission. It was the first one that we've ever had in the water basin. Now, I think just about every village in the water basin has a flood commission. And we came up with ideas of getting grant money that would help us lower the levels so that the flooding, when it does come, it wouldn't be quite as bad. Over the last 15 or 16 years, we've put about $7 million into the village and town projects. Because we're located, where we are located, we have the Delaware River is our main flow of water. And we have 3 tributaries that come into the village. We have the East Branch, the West Branch, and Third Brook. So there was a lot of work that has to be done. We have done a lot of work on the tributaries. Matter of fact, we just got notice there's going to be 22 homes that are going to be pulled out of the flood zone because of work that was done on all the tributaries. And Water Street is our big area down here on where the Delaware River is. We've lowered the level down there. So a year ago on Christmas, we had a 20-year event, and there was hardly any water that came into the village. So we've really come quite a long way. And we've got more projects that we're working on down by the fairground. We're going to be replacing the bridge down by, used to be Kraft, now it's Lactalis. We're going to put a new bridge in down there. So there's a lot more work going to be done, and I think we're going to be pretty safe for flooding.
So there is currently an industrial park in Walton, and a new business park has been proposed at the former Sheffield Estates. What makes Walton so attractive to businesses?
Again, not to be repetitive, I think it's because myself and the board, we reach out, we're so business friendly, and the word is preached, and the word has spread. And they see the opportunity for growth and for making money. But that's what it's all about, you know? And I think that's why they come in. And the industrial park, even though it's in the town, and it's owned by the county IDA. The same thing with Sheffield Estates. It was originally going to be condos for 55 and above. And then they had the housing market and the bankage had a breakdown and everything was lost. And the guy went through bankruptcy and the IDA purchased it, and they got some new businesses coming in there next year.
Wonderful. And could you tell us a bit more about the water system projects going on in the village?
Yes, we just applied. It takes about a year and a half before we get any money if we do get it. A lot of times we don't get grant money, so we try to apply for it. And the reason why we don't get money is it's like an oxymoron. It goes the opposite way. We take such good care of our water system that we don't score high on points, so therefore they think we don't need it. Mm-hmm. If we were a place that didn't take care of it, we'd be getting all kinds of grants. But we do have almost a $2 million grant that we just got approved from. We're going to replace the water system up on Bruce Street and Union Street. By the way, just so you know, in the last 15 or 16 years, we've probably replaced about 70% of our water pipe system in the village. Some of it is way over 100 years old. So we're trying to get as much of it done as possible. Also, we're working on the drainage that goes into the wastewater treatment plant. A lot of it has leakage. We just got a $30,000 grant to hire people to come with cameras to see where our leakage is so that we can patch that.
Great. And so how is the Village of Walton using its American Rescue Funds allocation?
Well, as everybody knows, you can only use it for certain things. I mean, if you're going to get PPP equipment, or if you're going to reimburse people from Durham when they were off, they couldn't work, or you can use it for infrastructure. We have 6 springs in the village. That's where we get all our water. Our main one, which is on Water Street, collapsed and it caved in. And to get a new one put in is probably over $200,000, $250,000. So almost all the money we get is going to be put into that. The reason why we're doing that, this way we don't have to raise the taxes on the people that live here in the village, and we're putting it to proper use.
Now, there has been not a lot of activity reported by the Walton Police Department. Could you explain the status of the police department at this moment?
Well, we're very lucky. We have a good police department. They work 24 hours a day. We've had a few of them to get the COVID, that they were out for a while. And we've had a lot of really big investigations going on, so it takes a lot of manpower to do it. And I like to think also that they're doing such a good job that we've cut back on a lot of crime. We really have a really good police department that really takes care of things. To give you a small example, we had one small burglary of a business, which we don't get very often. They solved it in less than 2 days. They got the material back and they got the people that did it. So that shows you what kind of police that we have in our village.
Great. And so what do you and the current village board hope to accomplish during your term?
Well, one of the things is, of course, the most important thing is when I talk to the board all the time, is to get more businesses to fill up all the stores. Walton at one time used to be a heavy industrial area with a lot of farms. Over the years, that has gone away, and we had a lot of empty storefronts. So myself and the board have been reaching out to everybody to try and get to fill the storefronts on Delaware Street. I am the representative of the board. They give me permission. I talk to them and I go out and speak to them, but they also in turn go out and speak to businesses on their own. And so the word is out that we're very friendly and that we're trying to get all the business we can and to get people that are leaving the city to come up here and let them know that we're going to welcome them and that they come to us if we can help them any way we can.
Yeah. And finally, what do you want people to know about the Village of Walton?
Well, I'd like people to know that the Village of Walton is, I always call it the diamond in the rough. We're in the Catskill Mountains, where we have 6 springs. We take showers and drink out of the faucet spring water that people have to pay $2 a bottle for some other places. We're so fortunate to have that. You can, 365 days a year, you can look out and see green mountains. On some days you can see eagles flying by, you can see a deer coming by. I mean, it's a small community, but it has all the conveniences. We have our own theater that's over 100 years old that you can see movies and you can have plays. We have shows. We have a library that's 100 years old. We have so many things to offer for the people. And the people that live here are very friendly. And we want people to come here. We want to be helped because the more people that come, more things we can do as a community and spread the good wealth around.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.